should make sure that we are actually streaming. Yep. Looks like it's working. Yay. Hello everyone. How's it going? So today we're going to continue where we left off with COBOL. Maybe I should update the little descriptions here. Doing COBOL for lulz. Okay. So that's Twitch, and then we'll also update YouTube. Category entertainment. Why does it have the wrong category? Let's see if we can fix that. Doesn't look like I have a way to change that. Ah, well. All right, so how you all doing? Oh, Twitch is kind of screwed up. Doesn't matter. We're all good. All right, so last time when we were doing COBOL, we had Zowe on VS Code working just great. And now what we're going to do is go to this CLI section. And I just wanted to make sure that it was actually working before I did the stream, because the last time I installed Zowe CLI, it took forever. And so I did a little bit of work beforehand. I spent hours actually trying to get this to package and compile in Nix, but I failed. And I didn't want to spend any more time on it because it was going to drive me crazy. Like trying to get an NPM package, it's like written in Node, TypeScript, whatever, and some Rust, and trying to get that to work was just driving me insane. So I gave up, and then I just tried to install it using NPM, and that also kind of drove me crazy. So what I have here, let me share that. Let's see here. So what do I got here? If I get rid of this, we have the browser. And in the browser, I have my cheat sheet. I added a section somewhere here. Maybe I just need to reload. And it's called Zowe CLI. So just make sure you have, what I had to do is when I tried using the latest version of Node, it didn't work. So I had to downgrade to Node 12. And then I used npm install, and this worked for the most part. And then after you do that, you can kind of like use this thing here to actually create your profile. So I did all of that, and that's how we are now in here. And you can see I have Zowe. It says welcome to Zowe CLI. And for those of you who have no idea what we're talking about, it's basically we're learning COBOL, enterprise COBOL, using the IBM ZOS mainframe. And IBM gives you like access to a mainframe to kind of learn stuff. And we're following a course that was created by the Open Linux Foundation. and it's just like a COBOL course running with this VM on the IBM mainframe. So we kind of had that working through VS Code, and that looks a little bit like, where is that? That's here, right? Where we actually had VS Code and it was like running all of our stuff here. I don't know why we have terminal open here, but yeah, like we were able to run Hello World, and that was pretty cool. You can see that this was the output, Hello World testing, so I wrote my own COBOL program. And now we're going to use CLI to do the same thing but without, well, I guess to do things but without the VS Code part. All right, so let's get started with Zowe CLI for COBOL and the IBM mainframe. Like I said earlier, here's the information in my gist. The link will be added later into the video to this, and you can see how to do this yourself. And once you have that working, then you can just have like a shell somewhere, and it says to try run Zowe. So you can see here that I ran Zowe, and it gave me this information here. And we'll look at the documentation now to continue from here. All right, so here is the documentation that we're reading from the course, and it says, in this lab exercise, you guys can see this, right? Yeah. In this lab exercise, you'll use the Zowe CLI to automate submitting the JCL to compile, link, and run the COBOL program, and downloading the spool output. Yes? What's the issue?
I have the permission to use your peanut butter.
You can use my peanut butter. That's really cute. Why wouldn't she feel like she could use my peanut butter? Well, I love peanut butter. So, like, it makes sense why she would ask. Anyway, downloading the spool output. Refer to the section on installation of Zowe CLI and plugins to install Zowe CLI if you have not already done so. Before developing the automation, we will first leverage the Zowe CLI interactively. Okay, Zowe CLI interactive usage. In this section, we will use the Zowe CLI interactively to view dataset members, submit jobs, and review spool output. Within VS Code, open the terminal. We're not going to use the terminal because there was a whole bunch of like access permission stuff. I have no idea why they didn't cover that, but anyway, we're just going to use our Linux box. In order for Zowe CLI Linux shell to interact with ZOSMF OS mainframe, the CLI must know the connection details such as host port, username, password, etc. While you could enter this information on each command, Zowe provides the ability to store this information in configuration files. What's your motivation, Eric, for learning COBOL? I cover this. Oh, hey, Eric. I think we've spoken on somewhere, right? Yeah, I love this hoodie. I got it as a Christmas gift. Well, there's two things. I love kind of retro feeling things. That's why I'm also doing the 6502 assembly language. And I also think it's really kind of interesting to see, well, for the historical aspect of it too, like what was it like back then? And what is a mainframe? Mainframes are kind of these weird beasts that I've always heard of, but I have no idea what they are. So actually like kind of going in and learning a little bit about what mainframes actually are so I can like have that checkbox and say, I know mainframes, you know? That was kind of like a thing. And in the back of my mind, I just think it's like one of those things you keep hearing like, hey, there's going to be COBOL jobs. There's not going to be enough COBOL programmers. They're retiring. Banks need them, whatever. And they all seem like really good, like well-paying jobs. And I don't know if it's a myth or reality. So I was sort of thinking like, okay, Veronica. Yeah, love Veronica. And yeah, that's the funny thing is she did COBOL programming. And like so I wanted to just see like, hey, is there really COBOL money? I don't know if I'll get to the point where I actually get hired to do it, but I think it'd be funny or fun to go for some interviews and just see what it's about. Unlike some people, I don't need to like socialize at work. I would be happy just like, hey, here's your stuff to do today. Do it from home, whatever, and I just do the mainframe stuff. That would just be like ideal. So yeah, that's why. You avoided COBOL in college. Yeah. They didn't teach COBOL when I was going to school, so no idea, like, at least not where I was. All right, so where are we? Yeah, so we're going to skip this because, like I said earlier, we are going to use instead, um, where is it? This is how I set up my profile. So I typed in Zowe profiles create and I gave it a profile name. And this all came from our config file from before. So, and I tried this and that seemed to work. There are millions of lines of legacy COBOL out there. Yeah, that's what the IBM materials keep saying. Like, it's funny if you look at I have a playlist of my adventure with COBOL up to here, and there's so much like material that's saying COBOL is amazing. There's so many billions of lines of code. Yeah, so it's kind of funny. All right, so we're going to confirm that we can connect by typing in this thing. So I will type that here. Zowe, ZOSMF, check status. And it looks like it connected to some IBM host here, port number 10443, and yeah, whatever this means. It looks like there's plugins installed for us. Network analyzer, whatever all this is, right? How hard is it to learn COBOL for a new dev? Well, go back to my video 1 and learn along with me. I'm sure you can catch up to me pretty easily. So I don't think that COBOL is a hard language to learn specifically. I don't know yet, but like it comes from the early languages, right? So I've done some Fortran, I've done C, I've done Lisp. Those are like the languages from the 60s. And they're kind of pretty easy. And I think COBOL is pretty like imperative and straightforward. So I don't think it would be hard to learn. I think the harder thing is getting the OS experience. It's not Unix really. So that's probably the harder thing. All right, so now it says list data sets under your ID, but I don't think if I were a new dev and you just, want to get familiar, I don't think COBOL would be the first language I look at, something like Python. Even Rust is kind of hard to learn as a first language. So list data sets under your ID by issuing a command similar to. All right, great. So let's remember our ID. It is Z61079. One day I'm going to have that memorized, right? So here we go. Zowe files list ds, and then we give our 61079 dot star, and I guess star is the wildcard. That's like common convention. So this should list all my files, I guess, and you can see my COBOL data file, JCL, load, and readme. Yeah, so that's cool. Yeah, starting with Python is a great idea. You can also list all members in a partitioned data set by issuing a command similar to. Oh, okay, so this thing where we had earlier .cbl is not a file, it's a directory, I guess. I think partition dataset is basically mainframe word for folder or directory. So let's try that out. Zowe files list AM this time. Z61079.cbl. I wonder what AM stands for. All right, so here are my files under my COBOL directory, and these are the work lab files that come with the project. And this is the hello one, is the one we actually built. Hello is the one that I coded earlier. So that was that. Oh, what is this? On one of the first languages, Admiral Grace Hopper was involved in its early development. I did have Fortran in college. C was my primary language. Yeah, Admiral Grace Hopper. I didn't look much up on her history. I think it's a her, right? Because I heard that it was a woman that made COBOL. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. She was born in 1906 and passed away in 1992. That's so cool. Okay. So yeah, Fortran I felt forced to use once for a project. It was not really fun. I remember being very restricted by variable names for some reason. But yeah. But it was really fast. All right. So we did the AM to get the, oh, it's all members. I see. So list all members and then the thing. Can you see that here? Yeah, you can see that. And what did this DS stand for then? Dataset. Okay, list dataset star, and then AM is all members. All right, next page. So this is just an example. It's a very poorly sized image. Next, we will download our COBOL and JCL dataset members to our local machine from the terminal. Issue command similar to this, Zowe files download. So instead of list, it's Zowe files download all members from this directory, which is called a partition dataset, and something extension or whatever CBL. So it probably gives them the CBL extension is my guess. So let's do that. I suggest Python due to its huge library of tools, although I really dislike not having curly braces. Yeah, I had to write an expert system in Fortran for a 2-credit course. Not fun. Yeah, expert systems were like the precursor to LLMs, right? I'm guessing they're still used actually. So where are we? We're doing Zowe files, download, all member, and then we give it our 61079.cobol. This is our partition data set, otherwise known as folder. And we pass in, I think what this is the file extension we want to give these things, these files. Because notice before when we did the list here, they don't have file extensions in the local, in the folder uploaded into the cloud or whatever, the mainframe. Look at this, it's a fancy filler. Why is this kind of like low, right? Destination COBOL, my username COBOL. So it made two directories, it looks like, Z79 and COBOL. And in here we have all the files that were up here, except they're lowercase and they all have COBOL as the extension. And the program I wrote before was Hello COBOL, and you can see it, I made it a little bit more exciting by doing Hello World testing. So there we go. And it also said to download the job control files, the JCLs. I think, no, don't, please keep interrupting because otherwise I'm talking to myself. I love it when people talk, unless they're harassing me. Then I don't love it as much. Z61079, right? That was my ID? Yeah, it's right up on top. .jcl, this is another folder. It doesn't look like a folder because it has a .jcl, right? But it is a folder, and we're going to give it the extension JCL. I wonder why it takes so long to download, because it's not a lot of files. These are just text files, right? It's kind of crazy. So we'll take a look in the JCL directory. And now we have JCLs. And then when we wanted to compile the hello.cbl file, we submitted this job, which had this stuff, hello COBOL job, something or another, cob run, exec, something or another. Look at this crazy, like, obfuscated ID there. Okay, so we have run that now. A complete example is following. Yeah, so we did those two things, right? wdag utility account desktop. Next, we will submit the job in member hello to submit the job. So this is basically the job that compiles our Hello World program, right? I had limited exposure to mainframes, mostly cut my teeth on Unix 6. Unix 6, is that AT&T? All right. To submit the job, wait, you guys see this, right? Wait for it to complete and view all the spool content. Issue, Zowe job submit, blah, 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 hello. So it's so funny. So like to refer to a file in a subdirectory, I guess we put it in parentheses? How odd is that, right? Anyway, let's try it out. Zowe jobs submit ds z61079.jcl hello minus vask, whatever, something ascending, something, I'm guessing ascending, verbose ascending. No idea. All right. On Vax, yes, AT&T. Oh, so I didn't know Vax ran Unix. I thought Vax ran VMS. Like I always see Vax/VMS. I don't know what that actually means. All right, so it's submitting the job, waiting for this job. Whoa! Holy cow. All right, so it printed a bunch of things. Wow. This is your compile output for compiling a Hello World program. Just to job log system SOW1 node something or another. It said it has its time, so it's 2 p.m. wherever it is. I think, right? So it's 8 hours difference. So it's like mountain time in the US, I think. What's it doing here? This is this is the job. This is the code that was in the job file. So I guess this is just printing it out. They say dummy here. It's not a very nice word. Last access, okay. Hello, COBOL, COBOL is executed. Start, stop. 0.4 seconds. Damn, this is a lot of output. Oh, here's my code. Hello. Hello, blah, blah, blah. Return code 0. Alright, so it said it has the return code, but it probably saved the output somewhere else. Oh, here, spool file sysout. So this is the output file. I guess it's like standard out. Hello world testing, there we go. Might have been one of the Berkeley ones at one point. Can't remember 40 years ago. Fair enough. Gets a little blurry. All right, so we just compiled and ran our code with that. Okay, so let's go back and see what it wants us to do next. We could also perform this step in piecemeal to get the output from a specific spool file. See the next figure for an example of the upcoming commands. To submit the job and wait for it to enter output status, issue wait for output. I guess that's what it is, right? Whoops. To list spool files associated with this job ID, issue blah. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Zowe job submit DS dataset, right? Z61079.jcl. Hello. And the thing we're changing here is we're saying instead of VASC, we're saying wait for output. Job 02657. So we're 02657. Does it say that? It says it right here. Return code. Hello COBOL output. Now we could list the output, list the spool file that is, and I assume that's the file that was created as standard output. BJ job, and we pass in the job number 02657. Zowe jobs list. I don't know what the SFBJ stands for. That's unfortunate they don't tell us these things, right? So we get sysout go. I guess 104 sysout go. So I think these are IDs here. You see like 2, 3, 4, 101, 101, whatever. So what we can do is do SFBI and then the same job 02657, and then we tell it which one we want. So we want sysout. Oops. Zoe jobs view. And that's our output. That was all listed in this file here where it said here list. Can you see that under the chat? So that's how we find out about a specific spool file. I'm not sure I'm going to remember all these, but I'll have an idea that they exist. So there's that. All right, so there's this, submit a job, wait for it to complete. If desired, you can easily submit a job, wait for it to complete, and download the spool content using this following command, Zoe job submit ds -d dot. Oh, so it'll download this in addition to, instead of just like printing it, I'm guessing. So let's try that out. Zoe jobs submit. So we're submitting a job to be run. Dataset z61079.jcl. Hello. -d for download. And I guess period means this current directory. Now it's waiting. It's compiling it, waiting for it to run. And it says it has downloaded it. So let's go into that directory. Well, let's just see what's there. We have COBOL, Go, Jess, liked. Let's look at the COBOL directory. sysprint.txt. So that's kind of like the whole thing of it compiling, right? So it says end compilation. And now the other directory was Go, which is probably has the output, right? And it says hello world testing. So you can see that there. All right, that's really great. That's kind of useful. You can kind of, I think I like that it can download it directly, because then you can just like use modern tools to kind of see what's going on. All right. The Zowe CLI was built with scripting in mind. For example, you can use the --RFJ flag, of course you can, to receive output in JSON format for easy parsing. See the next figure for example. Job submit ds blah 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 -d RFJ. And then instead of giving it to us in whatever format we had there before, which was what? Let me find that. Oh, it's just like, yeah, it was just like there was no formatting. So let's try this out. It'll only take a second. Supposedly, I can just run this command again. Where was it? -d -RFJ. Format JSON, I guess. R means something. Format JSON. Why is this thing not giving us a little spinning thing like it usually does? There we go. Oh, this is just the output of what happened. Success, true, exit, da da da. So if you need to like run this and check its results, you can kind of parse this better probably. But I don't think it changed the job stuff very much. 682. So now we have a second directory called job 6682. Go sysout. It's still just regular format. And the other one was COBOL. That's still regular format. It's not all JSON. It's just the return from the executable. All right. Programmatic use. In this section, we will leverage the Zowe CLI programmatically to automate submitting the JCL to compile, link, and run the COBOL program and downloading the spool output. Once you have the content locally, you could use any number of distributed scripting and testing tools to eliminate the need to manually review the spool content itself. Historically, in mainframe, we use rex exec, clist, etc. for automation, but today we are going to use CLI and distributed tooling. Okay, I have no idea what these are, but they're mainframe tools. Since we already have Node and NPM installed, let's just create a Node project for our automation. Oh no, if any of you love Node, I'm sorry, but I hate it. Every time I try to use NPM, something like a little part of me dies. To initialize a project, issue npm init in your projects folder and follow the prompts. You can accept the defaults by pressing enter. Only the description and author fields should be changed. See the following figure. Note that the use of the team configuration file as mentioned on previous section. This project must be a subdirectory of the Learn COBOL folder. Okay, we don't have a Learn COBOL folder, so we'll see how this goes. What is this? What is this image? I can't even see. npm init, package name mainframe, automation, Mike Bauer. All right, so we'll just do an npm. We'll make a directory called CLI project. Oh, you don't see that. CLI project here. And then we will npm init here. Package name, we'll call it what? Mainframe. Version. Description, automation for COBOL program. Entry point, test command, git repository, keywords, Elise. License. Is this okay? Yes. All right, so I guess it did it. All right. Oh, it's a little hard for you to see, huh? With my picture here. I don't know where I should be. Maybe over here? Maybe it's safer? What do you guys think? Well, let's try it. All right. Now that we have our package.json, simply replace the test script with a CLG script that runs the following Zowe command. What does that mean? I don't know this Node stuff. What? Test script. Is there a test script in here? Oh, echo no test specified. Are they just saying I see? Maybe they're just saying like, oops, I've been using Helix too much. It's X in VI. Sorry, you guys don't see this again. So maybe they mean that I should change this test script in package.json and change that test script with CLG script that runs the following Zowe command. Okay, so we will save this. Maybe it's a script, so maybe it should be clg.sh. All right. And then I guess we make a clg.sh. How does this look? Is it like hash bang bin bash? I forget. Why is it blue? God, I don't usually code in here on this Ubuntu thing. And it wanted us to write a command in here, which was Zowe job submit ds. We pass in our username z61611079 .jcl like we've been doing. Hello. This will compile a hello program -d, which means download the output into the current directory. Okay, now we save this. We can make it executable. All right. So we did this. You notice I just basically put that in there, right? You can name the script whatever you want. I only suggested CLG because the CLG in the IGY proc, which is what the JCL leverages, stands for compile link go. Okay, we learned something. CLG means compile link go. That's good to know. Try to remember that. Now simply issue npm run CLG in your terminal to leverage the automation to compile link and run the COBOL program and download the output for review. An example of the completed package.json and command execution are shown in the following figure. All right, let's see here. Package.json. Yeah, oh, we did it wrong. Oh, we did it wrong. Oh, I'm so glad they showed this to us. We did it wrong. I did it wrong. You guys are blameless in this. So it's basically saying get rid of the test script. Call this one CLG. And in here, make it run Zowe job submit DSZ 61079.jcl hello -d. Yeah, this makes more sense why they used single quotes here, because it has outer quotes that are double quotes. All right, so I think that's good. Now we can type in npm run CLG, and this should automate building it. Uh-oh. Zowe submit job blah blah blah. No value for option directory. Oh, I didn't put the dot. There we go. Look, it actually works. God, compiling a hello world takes forever, doesn't it? Okay, so we have it, and now we have job 2720. So if I do cat job 2720, go co-run sys out, you see my hello world testing. There we go. Exciting, right? This is too exciting for you guys, right? All right. Um. Oh, Eric, you have your YouTube channel, right? That's how I remember seeing your face. That's so cool. Now I remember. I saw your video. I'm not much of a hardware person. I don't know much hardware stuff. Yeah, we're making good progress, Findus. Like, we are using CLI, we're kicking the ass out of it, and like, we're able to run code. You see, like, I'm able to run COBOL programs just by typing npi run, npm run CLG, boom. And like, it's going to submit a job. I have a new jobs 2727. It's compiling and it's going to run my Hello World program. And then now I can do cat job 2727. What was it called? Job 277 dot go dot cope sysout. And there you go. There's the output of my program. So we're winning. We're totally winning. Big W. I wonder how much longer this section is. The CLI thing's a little boring. Anyway, so we were here. If you prefer a graphical trigger, you can leverage VS Code as shown in the following figure. Essentially, the CLI enables you to quickly build your own buttons for your custom ZOS tasks. You can also invoke a script rather than a single command to accommodate more complex scenarios. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I don't care about buttons or anything. I mean, but literally, if we go back to this bash program I wrote, right? Where was it? clg.sh. Like, that should work, right? I should just be able to do clg.sh, and there you go. Like, that's just, like, why did we end up writing this npm thing instead of just making a bash script? Oh, because, like, they're not sure if you have bash or if you have, like, cmd for Windows or PowerShell or whatever it's called. But doesn't this sound a lot easier, right? Like, just make it like this. All right. Data division. Hey, I think we're done with the CLI, guys. Now we're going into, like, the rest of the programming stuff. So that's awesome. We are done with CLI. It's about been 42 minutes now, so, or 48 minutes. So I think I'm going to stop. It's going to be a short day today. I was looking at my longest stream before, and it was 10 hours long. I can't believe I ever did something that long before. So yeah, we'll stop here for the COBOL part. Thank you for joining me on this. We'll do more next time. Like, in general, I switch between, what were the other things I do? I do the 6502 assembly, which I love. I really have to do another one on NIX because we're up to NIX modules, and I just got kind of stuck. Like, I'm not really stuck. I think I just got too excited with the 6502 assembly programming. So but I should go back to NIX. So yeah, we'll flip between that, and I think we need to do like something a little bit more modern, like either continue with Rust or Gleam. So we'll see what's going on there. I think I have a consulting job where I need to know Phoenix and Live View. You guys know what that is? It's like yeah, 10 hours, long time, right? I program in Elixir a lot, but I usually do like back-end programming, not web programming, so no web stack. But Phoenix is the package that's the library that for web, and LiveView is sort of like a server-side way of pushing content. It uses a WebSocket to push to the client all the time. A lot of people really like it. So since they're basically contracting me to help them with it, I probably should learn a little bit about it, right? It shouldn't be hard because it's still Elixir, but I'll probably do a couple of videos on that while I learn it myself so I can actually help these other people in this startup to use it. Isn't that funny how that all works? So yeah, I guess that's that for today. Thank you so much. I'll stop the YouTube video part of that. I don't know if I'll do anything else on the stream right now. So, it's getting warm. How are you guys doing? Kingo, you're still here. That's amazing. I'm so glad you guys are here. No, I don't think I'll be on for much longer. I was just like, I'm probably going to upload this. I noticed this really funny thing that like if I have a stream, it gets a lot less views than if I have a video. So usually what I do is I take the stream and I turn it into a video and like so maybe I'll do that and then but I don't want like all this like me just jabbering around doing nothing for no reason, you know? I mostly leave the stream in the background. And then you just see me like, "Oh, I wonder how she's doing. Is she like flailing or there's something when you say like I mostly listen that's really interesting because like do any of you have this problem where basically like you're outside like I'm walking around, I'm taking the metro and I'm not that interested in listening to an audiobook, right? Like I get really emotional sometimes, like the main character gets hurt. I just like I need to stop and now I'm emotional just trying to get somewhere. So I don't like audiobooks that much. And like I want to just like learn more programming or something technology. So there's podcasts, right, where they talk about technology and they say like, "Oh, what made you do this architecture decision or whatever." And that's kind of interesting, but I actually want to like learn something technical like this, right? But like it's impossible to learn this stuff by audio. But then I thought like there are people who are blind and like they do it, right? So one of the things I was wondering was can you actually learn enough of something like this just by listening? I'd love to be able to like have one of these things where I know it's a lot harder if you're like learning a language and you can't see what the person's typing, right? But like if you've learned a couple of languages already, then like learning a new one just by saying like, okay, here's what the keywords are, here's how it works, like I think I could learn that in my head. Like I don't need to actually type it. So it'd be nice if like there were some of these things that were more like learning. They have like learning a foreign language, like learning French, learning Japanese, audio books, but like they don't have anything for programming. The two things I really like is I like programming and I like chess, and both are really hard to do as audio only. So, but I don't know. Maybe there's other people that like spend a lot of time walking would like that too. So I'm kind of curious about if it's possible to do something like that or not, you know? Anyway, the other thing I was thinking of doing, like I'm on this whole thing. Actually, like I don't know if Andrew is still on. Um oh, sorry, it's Eric. I don't know if Eric's still on, but like I met Eric on this other channel, like Veronica Explains channel. And like she has like this matrix server which is a little bit like Discord. And I was thinking like, yeah, like I'm starting to really hate Twitter because like there's a company that runs it and whatever. So I've been moving to Fediverse and Mastodon. Well, not Mastodon. I actually use Sharky, but like, yeah, like Fediverse. And I've been trying to post all these videos also on PeerTube and not just YouTube, so that like one company doesn't just own it. And I was thinking like how much I want search to be like this too. And I was looking for like a search solution that's not like that's maybe federated, decentralized. And I found something called YACY. So I was thinking of trying that out. I don't know. You have to kind of install your own instance. So I was thinking of maybe doing a video where we try to set that up and see how search works in a kind of non-Google, non-whatever world, you know? Bing and Google seem to dominate search.
Ah, j'ai pas.
Anyway, that's it. I think I'm gonna go now.
Ah, yeah.
Um, Maybe have a cocktail. That sounds nice before sleeping. It is 10:40 p.m. So see you guys later, okay? Take care, stay warm, and see you soon.